Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for your Chelsea versus Liverpool review. Man of the match today, the fans. Who are the mentality monsters? The fans. The people, both sets of supporters that went through that traumatizing, tumultuous, treacherous, antagonizing viewing display. How was that even broadcast? That was criminal. That was criminal. That's crime watch. That's not football. That's crime watch. That wasn't football. That's not the beautiful game. They must be playing Gaelic or rugby or badminton or something. They're not playing the game I watched. There's no way. That whole game there for both teams, hang your heads in shame. This is why they call it a mid-off. This is why everybody has clowned and joked that this is a mid-off. It didn't get any coverage or pre-match, hype at Anfield, and rightly so. And the very same fixture in the reverse with us at home now, 0-0. I mean, you could not write it, but you could because everybody predicted this. Everybody and their mother, father, donkey predicted this 0-0. And speaking of donkeys, Kai Havertz with one of the maddest misses. The miss that will never get you a misses. Let's be real. That miss was shambolic. That miss, and it's part of many misses. 7 shots on target, 12 in total. The team can't finish. We know this. But that Kai Havertz one-on-one in particular, and along with Kova hitting it into the crowd, Felix hitting it into the crowd, aiming for the fans. They're trying to support you and you want to put them out cold. I mean, but that 1v1 really hurt my heart. Really broke me. And I thought to myself, why do we have to make up these silly excuses where he's a second striker, so that's why he didn't score? Because second strikers by definition must be able to strike. That's what a second striker is. A second striker. You're second in command to striking. It's like a defensive midfielder not being able to defend because they have centre backs behind them. I'm a secondary defensive player. Yeah, but you're one of the people that we look to contribute 2 goals. So could you actually finish your dinner for once in your life? You have a 1v1 and you've literally missed the entire target and you've put it out nearly for a corner. It was such a shocking effort. And it got me thinking, this man wants to eat Skittles. He wants to eat, Starbursts. And he wants to have no nutrition list. And I thought, he really is inspired by a donkey. He really is best friends with donkeys. He really wants to be a donkey. And I said it in my watch along. People want to be Ronaldo. People want to be Messi. People want to be Ronaldinho. He wants to be a donkey. So how do we expect him to be one of the best players in the world, which is what he was hopefully gonna become, one of the world-class players after that price tag and that hype, and he wants to be a donkey. A donkey doesn't have a nutrition list. A donkey doesn't score goals. A donkey does not give you any sort of consistency from day to day. It's a donkey. You watch Shrek? It's just a donkey. It's a wild animal. It does what it wants. Nonchalant behavior. Calm. Like he said, composed. But tiring. So tiring. Honestly, with this player, where does he play? Where should he play? What does he need to facilitate him, to make him better, to make him stronger? He needs this, he needs that. He needs to play more games. Shut up. Honestly, just in the summer, you and your donkeys and your Skittles, take them and go wherever you want to go. Because I need serious footballers at my football club. I need players that I can rely upon week in, week out. I need players that have a defined, definitive position and can apply and execute such things every single time. And no more times out of 9 times out of 10, we know what they're going to do. And I spoke about it in terms of our finishing, and that's what I want to talk about. Because Felix couldn't get his shooting boots on today. Kova, when he got into dangerous areas, couldn't keep the ball on target. Lobbed a 1v1 into the crowd again. Had a couple of other shots, missed the target. The only person that could shoot today was Reece James, and his shot was ruled out for offside. Why is everybody so bad at shooting? We need to actually look at this and think to ourselves, do we need to get an attacking coach? Do we need to get a Benny McCarthy or something? He obviously helped Rashford. What are we going to do here? Are we just going to keep doing this over and over again where we have people that fail to hit the target right in front of goal? when you're a forward, and thankfully Frank Lampard was in the crowd today, perfect example. He used to go to training and stay extra hours, and he used to not go to the gym to lift weights. He used to go and practice his finishing. Day in, day out, week in, week out, practice his finishing. Practice makes perfect. Consistency. And I look at our players when they're in front of goal, and there's no consistent ball striking. There's no consistent finish. There's no finish that you look at with any of our forwards and say, that's the type of finish that he does. That's his expert. That's his bread and butter. Harry Kane, you know he's going to cut across the ball from a tight angle on the right, and you know he's going to pick his corners from range or from an edge of the D. He can hit it low and hard. You know that he can do that. And the same goes for Aguero, near post, you know, roof of the net, whatever you want. There's loads of attackers, top attackers, where you've seen the same finish from them tens of times across their career. They have other finishes, they have variety, but they have a certain trademark finish that you've seen from them time and time again, to the point where they're so good at it, when the opportunity is arising, you already know what's going to happen. You already know they're going to finish this. You already know how they're going to finish this. But we don't have that. Every single one of our players in attack, they have a new finish every day. They have a new finish every day. It's like me giving you something completely different every day on this channel. I'll give you a vlog. Then I go and take a trip to Japan, or, you know, maybe I'll go and do a little watch along here, and then maybe I'll do a little collab here. Maybe I'll go and give you a train spotting video. Maybe the next day I'll talk about crocodiles. What? Like what? Some consistency, please, on this channel. Can we get a show that we know is every week that we like? You know, consistency. Every day you wake up, you brush your teeth. Consistency. There's some things you do, cool. There's a little bit of flair, a little bit of, you know, flamboyancy, but give us some consistency. In your day-to-day life, you need consistency, otherwise it doesn't work. You need to do routine, and we don't have no routine in attack. Now also, our striker, who was not on the bench again, was playing Fortnite. Now, thankfully on this channel, thanks to your support, we was averaging more viewers to them. So thank God for that, you know what I mean? Shout out to us. But they were doing Twitch watch along Fortnite games. He was playing with some random guy, I don't know who he was. But Aubameyang tonight during our game was playing Fortnite. So he clearly doesn't give a shit. Fair enough, I didn't expect him to give a shit. I don't even need him to give a shit. He's an Arsenal fan. He has the Arsenal tattoo on his arm. But it's so ironic that the forward that we have, that is the best shooter, is actually playing Fortnite and shooting people up, while we actually are also shooting people up, but the crowd, and not hitting Alisson. So that's ironic and hilarious. But yeah, this game in totality was just awful to watch. Bruno, I didn't do a preview, I apologize, but I feel like if there's any game that doesn't deserve a preview, that's the game right there. I don't regret it. I really didn't have the energy after yesterday. You saw two big live shows here with Battle of North and London Clubs Carnage. You saw a 2 hour plus Big Six. You saw DR talking tactics as well, DR Premier League review. I don't have the energy. Genuinely, I don't have the energy. So I said, I can't do it. And I was so disappointed in myself until I watched us. And then I thought to myself, you know what? If there was ever a game that didn't need a preview, that was the game. So I don't regret that. But apologies to you guys, because you deserve it. But what you don't deserve is to have to watch that. And like I said, just awful. The passing today, so many stray passes going out of play for throw-ins. People can't keep the ball on the pitch. Overhit, underhit. The few chances that we did create, like I said, we didn't take. We could not hit the target for the life of us, and if we did, wasn't testing Alisson enough. Joe Gomez actually probably had one of the best shots of the game, going towards the top corner that Kepa saved. We could have conceded. Liverpool were awful. Liverpool were just awful. There for the taking. A weaker Liverpool team. A very much weakened Liverpool team that had a lot of their A-listers out and put on the bench, the Trents, the Salahs, etc. The Van Dijk injured, and they were there for the taking. Same as at Anfield, they were there for the taking. They were there for the taking at Anfield, and we got a point. And on the surface of things, you think to yourself, a point at Anfield is a good result. But when you actually watch the game, and when you watch the level of Liverpool team that we played both times, it's 4 points dropped, and it's poor. But this time, at least you could say Bruno was in charge, and we didn't have a manager. But even still, a Brighton who won tonight and have continued to extend the gap above us. In fact, forget Brighton, speak on Aston Villa, who are 7th and 6 points behind Tottenham in 4th. This is an Aston Villa team that were 11th for weeks on end, whilst we continue to keep them just about behind us. And then as soon as they've leapfrogged us, they've now gone up to 7th. They're now in European places, while we are still in 11th and can't even get to 40 points. We're now on 39. We're almost there. Insane. insanity, people. That Aston Villa, after beating us and now winning tonight against Leicester, have just pushed themselves into positions that we should have been in weeks ago. I mean, this is why we sacked the manager, I guess, isn't it? And then his staff member, Bruno, bald, zero hair follicle, Bruno, big up your damn self. He just kind of continued what we were already witnessing. 3-5-2. Could have maybe brought on an extra forward earlier, but I don't care. You're not going to be the manager anyway, so there's no point me going into your decisions and your tactics. And what is the point? He's not going to be the manager for very long. He might get a couple of more games while we search, but let's see who we get first. I'll talk about the options and managers, even though we've done that prior with Nagelsmann now coming onto that list because he was sacked. In future videos, I'm just going to wrap this up. You've had a long night. I've had a long night. You should get to bed. I should get to bed. We should all pretend this didn't happen. But what you should do is subscribe, smash up the likes, and I will see you guys next time. In a bit, people. Peace.